Hi, so I know you've watched a lot of tutorials on handkerchief skirt, but in this tutorial we're going to make a double layered handkerchief skirt with drawstring at the side. So let's start this tutorial. So the first thing you want to do is to fold your fabric into four. The length in which you should fold it, you first of all get your waist divided by 6.28. That's how you get your curve. So mine is 6 inches. Waist divided by 6.28 is 6 inches. So I'm from the part of the fabric, I'm drawing 6 inches. So I'm just going to form a curve like you want to cut a 360-degree flare. So I'm going to measure it to make sure that it is my exact waist measurement. So I'm going to measure the longest point of my skirt. So the first layer, I want the skirt to be 24. So I'm measuring 24 inches. So note I didn't measure it round. I measure it on one edge 24 inches. I'm now going to draw a rectangle. Just follow it. That's the difference between the handkerchief skirt and your normal flare skirt. So I measured 24 inch on one side. I measured the length on the other side. So you work with your length, and that is it. Since this fabric is by 60, by the time I folded it into two, so I don't need to measure the edge. I hope you understand. So now that I'm done, I'm going to open one side and open it up. That will act as my zipper part. Can you see the way I folded it? So that will act as my zipper part. So I'm also going to notch it so I will know where the side is and where the middle is so that I can match it with the top layer. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I'm just going to notch it and we are done. So I've gone ahead to fold the smaller part. So the smaller part is shorter by 10 inches. So the longer part was 24 inches. So this will be 14 inches. So I'm also going to measure the pointy point 6 inches. That will give me my curve. From there, I'm now going to measure 14 inches on one side and 14 inches on the other side. That will now create my rectangle the way I did for that side. So you're just going to, you are not measuring it round, you are measuring it on one side and you go to the other side and measure the length. The shorter part is 14 inches, is shorter by the longer part with 10 inches. So I'm just going to measure it now. So you are using the longest part of your skirt length is what you are going to use. So when we are done now, I'm just going to cut out the areas that I've already marked. Do you understand? So I've cut it out. It will form a rectangle before you do anything. So do you see? So you just cut out the waist measurement. Remember, like I said earlier, I said for you, if you want to do it, how you get the curve, you measure your waist, divide it by 6.28. That will give you, it won't have excess. So you can use that excess as zipper. So you're just going to open one side. Do you understand? And notch it. It's very important you notch it because this is where we are going to put this drawstring. So after notching it now, the next thing you want to do, you are going to take your chalk on the wrong side. That part that is fork folded, you are going to mark it. That will be one part of where your drawstring will be. So it will be easy for you to just use your chalk to mark it very well. So this will guide you to know that okay, this is where my drawstring will be. See, I've used scissors to wedge it now. Can you see it? Because I want to do the other side. Please note the way I folded it. So I'm now going to use my chalk to mark it. After that, I can now open it up and draw the line from the up to the down part. So that will act as my second drawstring. When we are now done now, so this is how it's looking. So I've gone ahead to take a piece of fabric, it's 2 inches, and I've weaved it. The length is 14 inches, that's the length of the upper part of the skirt. So you are going to pin it, you are going to make sure you align it in the middle. So the middle will be on that line that you chalked. So you are going to use your pin and pin it. And now I told you that the length is 14 inches. But however, you know we are not closing it up. We are not closing up the whole drawstring. So you are just going to pin it. Then when you get to the edge, you are going to fold at least 1 inch in. So the drawstring will be shorter than the edge of the skirt because you are still going to turn it out. I hope you understand. You are doing all these things on the wrong side of the skirt. Meanwhile, can you see it? So I'm now going to fold it in by at least 1 inch. And I make sure that this piece of fabric is on the middle of that chalk line. I'm now going to pin it. So I'm now going to take it to my machine now. Sew the pinned part, that middle part. I'm going to sew it. Then I'm going to sew the edge, the two edge close. That way I will have two casing. I'll do the same for the other side now. And I'll come and show you how it looks. So after I'm done, this is how it's looking. I'm gonna have to also fold the strip of cloth. I did a long strip of fabric. I folded it and I cut it into 4 parts. So I'm going to take my safety pin now and just put it through into that my casing. Do you understand? So if you do it very well, it will be easy for your casing to just pass through. We are doing it from the down to the top part. Do you understand? So you are just going to bring out your casing. Whatever you do for this part, you are going to do for this part. And remember, you are doing it on the wrong side. Can you see it? So you are going to do the other side now. You put for the second casing, then you also put for the other side. After you are done, you are now going to go to your machine now and top stitch on the rope so that they will not remove when you are dragging it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. All these things you are doing it on the waistline. You're just going to make sure you put in the second casing. Let me do it again so that you see what I'm saying. I've put this second casing again. Then after doing that, I'm going to top stitch on it. So if you do it well, this is how your casing will be looking. So you're just going to top stitch on it. If you top stitch on it very well, it will be easy for you to drag the rope. So you're not going to fold all the open lines. Can you see of the skirt? And I've also gone ahead to place the upper one on the biggest part of the skirt. So this is how it's looking. So I can go ahead and do the drawstring on the side and it will come out well. So now what you are going to do is to add band. I've added band. My band is 1.5 inches. So I cut 4 inch on a strip of cloth. So this cloth is kind of stretchy, so I'm not going to put zipper. However, I'm going to put elastic so that the waist will be very firm. But if you are using it like an Ankara, you need to add zipper and you might use elastic or not. It depends on you. If you don't want to use elastic, make sure that the waist measurement is your exact waist measurement plus whatever it is you are adding, the allowance for your zipper. For this one now, I'm not adding zipper because the fabric is kind of stretchy. It's a stretchy crepe. So I'm just going to put the elastic. After putting the elastic, now I'm going to stitch the edge of the elastic. After stitching it, and I'm going to stitch the other part of the elastic, then I will just fold the four together, the two sides of the skirt together on the wrong side and close it. And we are done with our skirt basically. This skirt is very, very simple to do. It's something you can do within 30 minutes. And this is our result. Can you see the skirt? So there's a drawstring at the back and